the exciting thing is we can now go back to this array of colors, this palette, right? And we have these visualization colors, all of them in order, right? And we have the index to go into that array to pull for us those colors. Now, how you use an array is it's basically the same as using a fill color. So maybe I'll put it here and I'll say fill. And usually you would go like, okay, fill 255, right, for white or something like that. Now I can say, because this is technically a variable, so I can say vis colors, but I need to put in the index here because it's an array and not just a single variable. It's not the same as, you know, total rows or month, where it's like one numeric value. Vis colors stores a lot of different values. So this is how you call an array as a variable. So fill vis colors, and I'm just going to test it. I'm going to say 0. Let's see what happens. All of them are yellow. Great. And if I go like 3, it's going to show the 4th color in my palette. And if I go 7, it's going to show the last color in my palette. But essentially, I am now accessing the colors in my palette manually. I'm still doing it manually. I'm still just kind of putting in different numbers. And this, in these square brackets, is what we call the index. So if we go back to that whiteboard, so this is the index, and that's the number that I'm putting into the square brackets. But now we don't have to do that manually. We can use the index that we've prepared, which is the color index, right? Color index, we specified it first as 0, right? So if I run that, I've just typed it into here, the color index. It's 0. It's gonna show index 0, which in this case is yellow, right? Combining the two concepts together, this palette of colors that we have mixed with the exercise that we did, black versus white stroke circles, right? It's capturing those like points in the data where the data shifts. So how do we call a new color every time we come across these checkpoints? The simple way to do that is here, where so this is this if statement, this section. This would be those peak checkpoints that we've marked here. And I'm just going to say, once that happens, once we've reached these points, add the color index by 1. Let's just see what happens. So we'll save that, and then we'll refresh this, and yay! Now we have, now we finally have all the colors together in this list of circles. Using, you know, the index and using an array, we can now store all our colors in one place, and we have an index that can access this array for us, and we're calling it in the fill color of the circle. And the index moves, or we move to the next color in the palette only when we reach those difference, those triggers, right? Those differences in the data. I think I forgot my blue color. There we go. Okay, now it's fixed. You can just easily change up your colors in your array. You can access it, you know, within your code. So I'm gonna let that sit, and you guys give this a try, using your own data, depending on the variables and the information that you have. As always, if you ever need any help, our Discord is wide open, and we are there to support you. In the next videos, I'm gonna show you guys a couple of things. First is how we can alter the positioning of these circles so that they are no longer you know, kind of all stacked linearly like this, but how can we perhaps make them into a bar chart or kind of a graph in a more in a way that fills the canvas a lot more. So that's the first thing, and then the second thing is in later videos we are also going to uncover hover functionality, how you can interact with each circle, and have it show you specific information. Thanks guys for following along, and I'll see you in the next video.